G'day everyone, Graham here. This is the next video in my series, Let's Chat Quran. And this is the Quran I'm reading. Now, I'm up to the chapter called The Cow. It's quite a long chapter, it's got 40 pages in this translation. It's very interesting. As I was reading this very long chapter, I have some questions in mind. I was writing them down as I was reading it, and I'll read you a few things and I'll pose some questions for you. Very interesting. So, I have a question for you. Should Muslims try to convert the Jews or Christians to Islam, or should the Muslims kill the Christians? Don't know, but I found out in the cow, in the chapter for the cow. I'll read you this passage. It says, believers, those who follow the Jewish faith, Christians and Sabaeans, whoever believes in God and the last day and does what is right, shall be rewarded by their Lord. They have nothing to fear or regret. You see, that says that as long as the Jews and Christians and Sabaeans are true to their religion, because they are people of the book, that they should not be harmed. In fact, they should not even be converted, because God is happy with them. Allah is happy with them. The true unbelievers are the ones that are not people of the book. The people who are unbelievers are the pagans, the non-Muslims, the non-Jews, the non-Christians and non-Sabians. But of course there's not many Sabians around. This chapter talks a lot about Moses on the mount. You know, when he climbed that mountain and he got the 10 Commandments from God. And he came back down and the Israelites were making a calf out of gold because Moses was taking way too long and they lost faith. Now, Moses went up the mountain and came down with the 10 Commandments. If the God of Moses is the same God, Allah, of the Muslims, shouldn't the 10 Commandments that God gave Moses apply to Muslims? You know the 10 Commandments. There's one of them. Thou must not kill. Interesting. So the extremists out there, shouldn't they be following the 10 Commandments? Thou shalt not kill. Now, it also talks about a fiery hell. Now, to me, fiery hell doesn't exist because it's not compatible to a loving God. However, this is what this chapter says. It says, those that commit evil and become engrossed in sin shall be the inmates of the fire. There shall they abide forever. But those that have faith and do good works are the heirs of paradise. There shall they abide forever. You see, if you fall out of grace with God, you are going to live in a place of fire forever and ever and ever. But to me, if God was all loving, there couldn't be a place of fire forever and ever and ever. To me, that seems nasty, not love. But however, that's what it says here, and I shall continue with that. So, it says that there is a fiery hell type place. Do you believe in fiery hell? What do you think? Now, a lot of this chapter also talks about giving to the poor, charity, the rendering of alms. That's ALMS. So, you give to charity, you give it to the poor, that's the destitute, the orphans, the parents, and travellers in need. Now, it also says that you must do this. So, my question is, if A good Muslim gives alms, which they must do by what the Quran says. What happens to all this money? Now, the Christians, you can see them with their charitable works. They help with soup kitchens. You've got the Salvation Army and lots of Christian organisations that help the poor. But I've never seen a Muslim organisation helping the poor. I've never seen one. There probably are some, but I've never seen one. So, what happens to the money that the Muslims give to charity? Can you please tell me? I would like to know, because I've never seen an organisation use it like the Salvation Army. So, where does the money go? You know, it says that Muslims don't need to eat pork. And this is what it says. He has forbidden you carrion, blood, and the flesh of swine, also any flesh that is consecrated other than in the name of God. But whoever is driven by necessity, intending neither to sin nor transgress, shall incur no guilt. God is forgiving and merciful. So, alright, you're a Muslim and you don't eat pork. Now, a lot of people are trying to change their eating habits. Now, I know a lot of Muslims are trying to change the eating habits of non-Muslims, saying they can't eat pork. But clearly, in the Quran, it says, if you have no other choice, you can eat pork if you wish, and God won't punish you. My question is, why do so many Muslims quote that they can't eat pork, yet they don't say it's okay if we can't avoid it? I don't know. Why do they say that? It also says, we gave Jesus, son of Mary, indisputable signs and strengthened him with the Holy Spirit. So, Muslims recognise Mary and they recognise Jesus, and they recognise that Jesus was full of the Holy Spirit. So, if they recognise Jesus, they recognise Mary, then they recognise the birth of Jesus. See, a lot of organisations are trying to stop nativity scenes in shopping centres. For instance, you know, the scenes where Jesus is born in a manger and you have the 3 wise men come and visit him. They try to stop that because they say it disturbs other religions. Well, what other religions? They say it disturbs the Muslims, but it doesn't. Clearly, by the Quran, by this chapter, they believe in Mary, they believe in Jesus, they believe that Jesus was strengthened by the Holy Spirit. So nativity scenes shouldn't be a problem. So next time you see a shopping centre or organisation trying to say no, we can't put up a nativity scene, please tell them that in the Quran it's okay. It also says there is no compulsion in religion, which means that you shouldn't be forced to convert from one religion to another. So, if you're a Muslim, you shouldn't try to convert a Christian or a Jew. They should do that on their own. You shouldn't compel them to do it, because it's not needed. This chapter says there is no compulsion in religion. So there you go, my friends. There are some very interesting questions that I've raised and some things to talk about. So please respond. Anyway, take care. Stay safe. Bye for now.